So this morning we're continuing to hike up an area called the Bufa, which is, we're looking at downtown Zacatecas. As you can see, it's a pretty big city, probably about 150,000 people, and this is kind of on the edge of it. It's like a park. I asked the cop if I could go here, explore mines. Yes, no problem. And this is the fifth and the sixth adit we found, so it's kind of cool here. We see a little bit of a ring of stone here. And now I'm just going to show you this entrance here. I don't know if it goes anywhere, but this looks really old. And remember, they started mining here in the 1500s. So this is definitely looking like a pretty old mine. Well, it looks like we're being watched. Well, we're in the Bufa here, and looks like we found ourselves an adit. Pretty fair size hole by the looks of it. That looks pretty promising. And I'm not going to be in any trouble by getting in here, as far as we know. The cop even said it was okay. Alright. Little cubby hole there. Not going anywhere. Pretty red looking rock. Oh, look at all the gobbing in here. Yeah. I sure do a neat job stacking the rock here. So it's just all waste rock they piled here. I know how to pile rocks in this country, I'll tell you. Well, they build fences and stuff out of it. So oh, it's either a dagger. Oh, it's Jesus, eh? Pretty religious here. Looks like we got the little guy looking after us. I don't think we'll need any of that. Should be fine on our own. It was kind of funny. We were way back up in the Pilon mine there, and a couple guys showed up in suits, speaking Spanish, and we didn't know I didn't know who the hell they were. Found out after a few minutes they're Jehovah's Witnesses. I thought it was a mine inspector or something. They're Jehovah's Witnesses, trying to convert me, I guess. Didn't work. Yeah, it's a little cooler in here. This looks like a pretty old mine, especially with the way that rock was stacked. I've never seen some interesting color in here. Yeah, lots of mining took place here for a long time too. Way back, and started in the 1500s here. No idea how old this might be. Pretty fair sized tunnel though. Didn't think it'd be that old. The back's getting lower and lower. Still fairly wide. Lots of tracks in here. These slabs fell off of here. Caved in section here. Not gonna go anywhere. A couple stopes up there collapsed. Oh my god. Let's go to the right here. See what we can find. Pretty sticky red material on the floor here. Lots of garbage in here. Beer bottles and wines here, just like in Canada. I think that's going to be it. Looks like it's coming to an end, or it's collapsed. So, not bad. A little bit of a mine, at least. No. Uh-oh. Weird. Yeah, it might have something to do with some religious thing or something. Yeah, looks like it. Nice cup there. Huh. Some kind of sacrificial thing or something. looks like it was something that was built to make some kind of a sacrifice to the, I don't know, the mining gods or something. I don't know. Maybe to pray for good luck. I don't know how that works, but that's interesting. Altar Crescencino. Like that other mine is right above us, that big one. And look at, there's actually steps cut into right into there. These guys are pretty religious, so yeah, this was some sort of an altar that's associated with that other mine that we just went into. And we found another little adit here. I don't think it's going to go very far, but you never know. Oh wow, there's some turds here that look like rat shit. No, there was no rats in Mexico. Sure looks like rat shit to me. Oh, pretty narrow vein they mined out there. Look at all the flies. All flies all over the place. That's pretty cool. Mined out a little vein there. It's just all full of flies, and this looks like it goes anywhere. Maybe. I'd love to see a rat. First time I've ever said that. Just want to see what they look like compared to our rats. Oh, that's a pretty interesting formation. Yeah. It goes that way. There's definitely a rodent's nest there some type. Pretty skinny, huh? Oh, it looks like a pretty small nest. Looks smaller than a rat nest, but the turds are a little smaller, so I'm not sure if that's a pack rat or not. Oh well, we're gonna crawl on our hands and knees on this cave. And it's actually underneath that great big one that we saw earlier. Whatever it is, it enjoys munching on cactus. Looks like it might open up in here, which would be nice. At least you're not crawling in the mud, right? Let's open it up a little bit. And follow the rat turds. Oh yeah. Not bad so far. And that's it, maybe. Yeah. Well, maybe not. It continues on down. Now we're going down, eh? Into a shaft. How far down? Not too far. But then that's it, eh? Yeah, that's it. Goes down into a hole. Neat little tunnel. Hey, you find yourself out of breath a lot here. Zacatecas is at 8,000 feet, so. And, you know, you gotta get intimidated by the weather a little bit. It's perfectly sunny all day long. You never see a cloud in the sky this time of year. But, you know, it gets down to close to freezing at night. But, that's no big deal at all. Man, the sun comes out by about 9 o'clock. You're down to a t-shirt if you're hiking around. So, as long as you're not sleeping in the bush, I mean, who cares? It drops down a little colder at night. Funny thing though, even though it drops down pretty good at night, you know, see those Spanish people, they're Mexicans, and they have Well, they got parkas on, and they're all got big toques and scarves and everything on. It's pretty funny, and they don't take it off. They're on all day long. By the middle of the afternoon, right, you're down to your t-shirt and you're sweating. They're still walking around in their parkas. About half of them. The other half got t-shirts on. So here's another little hole in the Bufa. Yeah, it looks like somebody had actually tried to block this off at some point. Oh, there's somebody in here.
Hello, my friend.
Hello, senor. Oh, it looks like somebody's living in there. Huh. I found another cool little hole here. Turned up in here. There's a whole bunch of other little holes in here. Now, one thing that really helps me out here I've got this iPad, and it's just the most invaluable tool that I have, I think. And I'm going to kind of show you this program that I have. I can't remember what it's called. Anyways, there's a whole bunch of GPS type programs you can get. And the cool thing about it is it tells you where you've been exactly. So in that little red line, it tracks your movement. So if you're exploring an area, it's really cool because it shows you where you've been. And then you just put little labels where the adits and stuff were. So it really saves a lot of time, and you don't get lost as easily. There's some kind of a ramp here. I don't know what that would have been used for. I wonder if it was part of a tramway. We'll have to have a look. There's kind of a real cool formation where we can get up there. And we'll see if we can find, if that's some kind of a ramp, then likely is that there's an opening up there. Probably is. We're finding openings all over the place. Pretty neat the way they build them. Boy, they're sure good at doing stacking rocks in this country. This is the top of that hole, and it just comes up in here, and it is actually an ore pass is what it is. So it just comes up here, and this is an ore pass like I've never seen before. It's steep enough so rock will come up, and the ore would have just put down there, which is actually pretty smart because it does two things. See, I'll throw a rock down there. The rock, this chunkier rock, it's steep enough where it'll go down, all the way down, but also it probably breaks it up somewhat. Yeah. So there's an adit just right up here. So this is this adit on top of the a big ore pass. It's kind of interesting, you know, where we're used to, the adits are collapsed from the top down from this rock, but here it almost seems like they're collapsed from the bottom up, you know, just from from if it rains like crazy or something, and it just carries mud and stuff in to the floor. So, kind of looks that way because, you know, it's pretty skinny in as you first start in here, and then it widens up pretty good. So we'll do the crab walk in here. And it looks like it gets a little better up in here. Not bad in here now at all. It's a good place to have lunch too. A little cooler. Well, they built that ore pass to service this, so fair bit of work to build that ore pass. There's a good chance. One thing, we haven't seen any bats here. I wonder if they don't like the high altitude. Yeah, lots in the lower altitude mines, just full of bats. Haven't seen any in here at all. Looks like we're maybe at the bottom of a big shaft or another pass or something. Bunch of small material here. Yeah, indeed. There's another ore pass going up. Looks like you could probably climb up it. It's got steel rods. Oh, I should actually be able to get up there. That'll be interesting to climb. Daylight up there, I think so. Probably. Yeah, they put in these steel rods. It's funny, they're kind of damp. And they cut some steps in there. Get up to that top slope there. I don't want to come back down. I'll probably be all right. Got those lots of steps cut in there. You can just stick your feet on there. Looks like somebody's been up there. Along this mined out kind of pit here, and I have a couple interesting things that are lots of little walls and stuff around here. I don't know what that is. The other one looks like kind of it's like a fire hydrant, some ordinate thing. All kinds of little walls and different things. Like this very old area. This is, you know, this could have easily been mined 500 years ago. It looks like there's quite a bit of ore taken out of here, fairly red material. So all kinds of little rocks stacked in different things here. Maybe there were some houses that were here. We're finding lots of little adits, but nothing's really big. But I mean, the way they mined back then with the hand steel and stuff's gotten caved in, so yeah, this might have been part of the footings of an old house or something from when they mined here back in the 1500s. Yeah, we're seeing another hole here, right close to where that village was, or where the remains of where some houses were a long time ago. And this looks kind of interesting, maybe a little bit more substantial. It's not blocked off. We'll see, we found lots of openings. Quite a few adits here. Lots of garbage here, eh? Too bad they didn't charge a deposit on bottles. There wouldn't be any then. Nobody ever cleans anything up here. Oh, there we go. There's a nice little cavern in here. It looks like there's an ore chute going up that it's blocked off. And there's another one there, tunnel going that way that's blocked too. It's a nice looking rock here. I don't think any of this stuff was blocked intentionally. It's just it's hard to underestimate. We know there's very old mines that probably could be as old as 500 years old. So it's hard to underestimate the cumulative effect of erosion in all that time to you know, just water running down here and stuff and bringing the dirt and the sand down in here, and over time blocks it off. Because none of the entrances seem to be plugged at all. We're just seeing erosion. It's just from water running in there. So, oh, there, okay. So, looks like it goes in a fair ways further from here. Right-hand rule. Oh. See, these guys, when they bring spray paint in these mines, they don't do it to find their way. They seem to enjoy the graffiti, which we happily never see in Canada much. So, still haven't seen any rats. But, well, that's just mouse shit. You can tell from the size of the turds how big the animal is. So if we see any really big turds, well, that's one good thing about Mexico. There isn't any large predators here. I think the largest thing is maybe a cougar, and I'm not even scared of them in Canada. So I don't think we're going to see any cougars in here. Okay. I think that one's blocked off too. You still don't see any blast marks or anything here. Mind you, it's kind of a suspicious looking hole, but I don't know if those are blast marks. Could be, you know, they could have come in here in later years and removed some more ore out of here. Hard to say. There's a big collapse there. Big rocks. Sealed that off. Oh, there's a bat. Pretty small bat. First bat we've seen up at the high altitude. We're thinking they didn't really like that being up at 8,000 feet. I know it's hard on us. You walk along here, you always kind of short of breath. Well, it's not that cool in here. Well, mines are pretty warm. That much, not that deep. I haven't found any that are really deep. Keep hoping we'll get into somewhere that's crazy deep, but it hasn't happened yet. Oh yeah, there's a little room in here. Doesn't look like it goes anywhere. During the hot season, probably. This is the cool season. During the hot season, probably maybe people come up here during the day to escape the heat with a couple brewskis. Well, it's interesting to see how the ore, I think that's ore, must be poor ore, is kind of flaked off the back there. Oh, well, looks like there's a big, almost looks like a pillar here. There's a little trench that's been mined out. It's a good thing to have a fire in here. It's kind of cleaned out a lot of the bush and stuff, I guess. Makes it easier to get around here, and I think we're at the top of the shaft again. It's just going to come up another level here. Let's see, going back this way. And she's blocked. The vultures are taking advantage of the thermals here up against the ridge here. Maybe they're hoping I fall down a mine shaft. Fresh meat. There they are. This is the height of land here, and I had a pretty good shot of Zacatecas. Not too hazy today, and we're on top of this big crack that I was worried when I was at the bottom that someone might throw a rock down. And indeed, yeah, that's a big long crack. Yeah, that's the entrance way there, but it looks like it goes down a lot from there. Huh. So, alright, so we're at the bottom of this crack again, because we're at the top looking down, and we think that it's going to lead to this big ore pass. Because it looks like it goes down fair ways from here. So we're just going to work our way along here and go through here. And we just hope that nobody's going to be hiking up around above us, because it looks like it goes down pretty good. And I hope we can crawl through everything. See how it goes. And there's a lot of loose rock on this side. Ain't the most safest place to be standing. Oh. It looked like it was real deep from up there because it was bright. It didn't look that deep down. It didn't look that far down from up here. Yeah, I'm sure there was an ore pass here one time. But it looks like it's plugged now. Damn, eh? Yeah, no, we can't get down here. Oh, look at that rock. It's just frickin' barely hanging there. That's what you call a hanging rock, yeah? Okay. I don't need to be under it, really, but the coyote and the roadrunner cartoons. Look at that. I mean, just that one little corner is hanging on there, and down she comes. Yeah. So I'm sure the ore did go down from here, but it doesn't now. So the other ore pass going up where those rebar was, I couldn't get up it. It was just a little too steep. Because if somebody else maybe would have tried it, but I'm sure all the ore went down from here. It would be interesting to go up there, but it's just too dangerous. So we're walking along this great big ridge, or no, whatever, outcropping, I guess. And we're in an area called Bufa. La Bufa. And this is where all the mines are. See that great big knob there? And what happened was there's a great big huge crack that went from the very top there all the way down through the mountain, and then they accessed veins and stuff through a whole bunch of pretty small tunnels. None of them were really long. I went in a whole bunch of them. There's been people in all of them. None of them went in more than a couple hundred feet or so, but it's pretty interesting to see some of the stuff in very old mines. So indeed, this is the last one at La Bufa that we haven't checked yet. Very fractured rock above us. Not only in this mine here, but just generally this formation. If you look up top, it's got huge cracks in it. So some of these might be going underneath some of these big cracks. We'll see. It's a little damp in here. Let's see if we can get under one of these big cracks. Oops, she's just going to end right here. Looks like there was a lot of ore moved from here, but most of it was probably just open pitted, blasted and moved. Probably had lots of old workings in here that they came in and reworked in later years, I would think. Get around this way here. Almost like a lot of calcite in there. And remember with calcite, we can tell what calcite is. It's basically chalk, which was made up from sea creatures long ago. So if you find some calcite, it's really soft and you can write with it. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's anything more in here. Pretty cool to see it though. It was kind of a main hall level here at one time. This looks like a path right here. Yeah, there's a path here. And some gobbing there. And look at that really skinny pillars here that are just cracking, almost falling down. Yeah, pretty sketchy in here. Holy, look how thin that pillar is. It's like sharpened to a point. And this is soft rock as it is. Soft rock and it has cracks in it. So, not what you call stable. That pink light, that's pretty cool, eh? You got that real red ore coming in. And it's black in here, don't have any other lights on. Well, the carbide lamp, some writing there. First time we've seen that Mexico here. So I have a card with the website information on it. Brand new one we just come up with now. There you go, see. And we usually find a place to stick them somewhere. Somebody will see that. They'll say, what the hell? And then maybe they'll talk to me, send me an email or something.